I started work there in 1981 and I was residential. It was, my home was the flat, which is just the other side of the kitchens, and my duties were primarily site maintenance, and I used to sort of repair or glaze windows. There was lots of broken windows because kids used to kick a football through the window, and I used to have to brush up the glass obviously and then replace it. So I got quite good at glass cutting and glazing. But you couldn't really work there without being involved in the groups in some way or other. And one of my duties was to keep the tuck shop. And they used to knock on the door of the flat at some awkward hours, probably when I was watching Coronation Street or something like that. And they used to say, "Can you open up the tuck shop?" And the tuck shop is in the games hall. And so the kids wanted a bit of refreshments if they're playing table tennis or pool or snooker or playing video games. And there was always a bit of a nuisance having to open the tuck shop. Whenever I opened the flap, the kids always cheered, and that made it slightly worthwhile. It's always one of my happy memories, that. And I met my wife there, and my daughter was born there. The address on her birth certificate is the Boys Clubs Wales Sports and Holiday Centre, and there's not many people that can say that. The Carmarthen Red Cross used to use the sites quite a lot, and they used to have disabled guests, and they used to bring cadets along to help with disabled guests. And the leader, Megan Griffiths, was, I'm not saying she was very strict, but she did require standards, and she wouldn't approve of alcohol. But what the staff did, they put a room aside for what they call the surgery, and of course everyone would think that is some sort of medical procedure or medical room. It's actually where we retired in the evening, have a few bottles of beer and a little chat about the day's events. I saw a few managers come and go, but I remained assistant. The chef was Ken, and he was a very good chef, and when you got to know him, he was a very nice bloke, really, and a very nice man. But he did have a very volatile temper. If things went wrong, he used to shout a lot and curse the serving girls, and if anything went wrong, he knew about it. But he was a good cook, and the kids had some good meals there. The swimming pool, I used to maintain the swimming pool. I used to have to test the acidity and the chlorine level in the water, and in my spare time, of course I could use the pool any time I wanted to. And quite often, if there's a group that's using the pool, I would pretend to dip my toe in and say and back off, think it's a little bit cold, and that was the excuse for the kids to just grab hold of my arms and then chuck me in the water. And I knew it was cold, but it was just good to have a bit of fun with the kids. There was a group from Coventry of disadvantaged kids who used the sites. Their leader was John Eardley, and they used maximum use of the sites, and they used the gym for football, five-a-side, uni-hog. They used to use the swimming pool, they used to use the tennis courts and the football pitch, and they used to play rounders in the football pitch. And in the evening there was a disco in the Fraser Hall every evening, and the kids were active at all times of the day. And of course it was used, the Fraser Hall was used as a rehearsal room for the orchestras and the choirs. They used to have like different sections using different parts. Used to use the games room for one part of the orchestra or choir, the Fraser Hall for another part, and a seminar room or conference room for another part of the orchestra or choir. And then they put it all together and they used to assemble in the gym, and they used to play the whole thing together in a gym. And that was wonderful, really, to hear. And that, more often than not, it led to a concert, probably in Cardiff or something like that. And Jim, the manager, towards the latter end of his life, he always used to go to the concerts put on by the choirs and the orchestras.
I started work for Boys and Girls Clubs of Wales in 1965, and our office was in High Street, Cardiff. But to save on expenditure, we moved to our centre, St Athan Boys Village, in 1975. We were based at the village from 1975 until it closed in 1991, and during those years it was interesting to see all the different people staying at the village. It always seemed to be full of people enjoying themselves, having fun. The sun always seemed to be shining and everyone was having a good time. We drove past Boys Village recently and it was awful to see the dereliction of the site. From seeing it all full of life with people enjoying themselves, it's now a dead site. Looks as if it's been bombed. The grass is long, the buildings are wrecked, and it's really sad when you remember what it was like before.
I was resident at the Boys Village between 1971 and 1974. I came to work in the power station at Aberthaw, and one of the engineers there asked me if I had anywhere to live, and I said, no, not at the moment. He said, well, I'm living at the Boys Village, and there's a spare room there if you'd like to come and see it. Went to the Boys Village and met Mr. Llewellyn, and he showed me the room, and I took this room and lived there for, as I say, about 3 years. The power station has very close links with the Boys Village. The station superintendent was one of the members of the House Committee at the Boys Village. Also on the House Committee was the manager of the cement works and the commanding officer of RAF St Athan. The power station used to carry out maintenance work on pumps for the swimming pool and various electrical bits and pieces. And the Boys Village reciprocated a few times when there was bad snow, when the power station staff couldn't get home. They were put up at the Boys Village, where they had a bed for the night, or in the case of the night workers for the day, and food was supplied to them. I met my wife Shirley at Boys Village when she was working for what was then the Boys Clubs of Wales. They came down from their office in Cardiff for the weekend, the two girls in the office, and I met Shirley then, and eventually we married. Shirley still works for the organisation, and I now occasionally do some voluntary work in the office. Also during the time, the power station used the sports facilities there, both indoors and outdoors. Regularly we'd have five-a-side evenings there where we practice, and then when the weather was better, we used the outside pitches where we played other power stations, and we also had our internal tournaments, both football, and I remember playing cricket there at one time. During the beautiful summer of 1976, when the long drought was, power station staff would regularly go to the Boys Village, use the pool facility. Nice cooling off time with all the hard work going on.